on, you sly old dog.
I apologize for the cage. I'm afraid this situation has often required of me a more primitive code of conduct than I might otherwise have chosen. I am Gen. I assume you've heard of me. Yes. Well, I suspect you have acquired some false information of who I am now. Not that my son would have lied to you about me. No, not Atris. It's just that, well, I'm sure he believes me to still be the depraved father I once was. Yes. I even tried to kill him once. God, if I had accomplished that, who knows what I would have become. Great father indeed, who tries to murder his own son. Thankfully, he trapped me on age 5, a prison of my own creation. No books, no precious inks, no ages to link to, nothing but my own foolish ambitions.
Put these foolish ambitions to rest.
30 years ago. 30 years, 30 lifetimes, what does it matter? No sentence could be too harsh for the man I was. But I have changed. To be sure, the deeds of my past can never be completely atoned for, but my mission was an honorable one. I'm sorry, this is all a bit awkward. It's been a long time since I've attempted to persuade anyone of my intentions. Most of the people here have already made their minds up about me one way or another. I myself do not trust the words of most men, so I don't expect you to believe me. In the end, though, you may discover that I do have more than mere words to offer. Atris's choice of punishment has been hard on the people of Riven. Many have suffered because of it. The island has been steadily decaying for years, but according to my most recent measurements, it appears that the 5th age has entered its final days. Unless the villagers can be relocated soon, the island will collapse entirely and everyone will perish. It has taken me a long time to do it, but it appears that finally I'll be able to make some substantial amends to my past transgressions, especially in, well, I'm afraid I've had some trouble with Catherine and the moiety. In any society, there will always be a small percentage of the population with rebellious tendencies. Before Catherine appeared, the moiety, as they call themselves, had been relatively harmless. I mean, the natives here are a fairly violent people by nature, but I'd almost come to accept their presence. Upon Catherine's return, however, their violence intensified considerably. It seems she's become some sort of religious savior to them. As far as I can tell, she's come to believe this herself. So I've had no alternative. I had to separate her from her people. The actions of Catherine and the moiety have put my own life at risk on numerous occasions. Consequently, the lives of all the people here. Therefore, I must ask you to refrain from any attempt to free her. Although I'm sure Atris desires it. Indeed, he must desire it with all his heart. But he is completely unaware of her recent state. Which brings me to the point of all of this. The linking book you brought with you. You're very fortunate to have recovered it. If I may. Thank you.
Animations are a bit choppy here.
Perhaps it would be best if you went through first. You may need some time to decide. That is reasonable. Please understand, there is nothing I want more than a chance to resolve matters between Atris and myself. Especially in light of what has become of Catherine. But unless you are willing to demonstrate to me that your intentions are honorable, I cannot risk it. The sanctuary I've been writing for the Islanders is nearly complete. After all these years, it would be a shame if I were unable to finish it. The work I am doing is quite demanding. Please don't signal me unless you've decided to use the book.
All right. Oh no, we're here now. Oh my god. Well, let's go back. The thing is hidden in his laboratory somewhere, the code. So maybe the viewfinder? I just wanted to see that I could do that. We'll go this way. I just don't want to have to spin the rotunda thing. So I'm doing so much extra walking just to get around that. Okay, so what I have to do now is I have to get the password from his office, and I have to use that to free Catherine. So I can escape. So I am assuming that this is the correct age. The one that we're going to is the correct age. But she said like 335. She had a 3-digit number. I thought the book had 2 digits in it. Okay, let's go back. We're gonna use that viewfinder. It's got to be a viewfinder thing, right? And I'm gonna save here first, just in case. Traversing this place is horrible, man. So time consuming. Give me a fast travel, you know? Okay.
I'm relieved you've returned. I thought perhaps you had decided against it. Here, I shall follow you directly. Please. You're free to go. But I think you should not come back unless you're willing to use the book.
Sure. Okay, where might this password be hidden? Well, there's a switch. The only thing that stands out of these balls, right? So they might be the code. It might be some... So the red is the north one. You know? So it might be that. It might be the plus, you know, plus 12, plus 4 sort of thing. I can't remember what the password on Catherine's prison door looked like. So what I'm going to do is, okay, I'm going to save here. Oh, I can't save here. Well, I've saved just outside. We're back. Cool, cool. We're back, I believe. All right, let's try touching the book. This is going to give us the bad ending, obviously, but I just want to see what it does. Remember Aitra saying at the start that this ejects out the person who was in there before? So it's not like we're going to go in. There's already a guy in there, right? So it's not like we're going to go in and then he's going to go in. He's going to see the other guy come out and realize what's going on, and we'll just be trapped there forever. Or maybe we're calling his bluff by going to touch it.
I'm relieved you've returned. I thought perhaps you had decided against it. Here, I shall follow you directly.
Yeah, let's do it. Come on, let's do it. Bad ending. Yep. Can I do it? No? Oh, it won't even let me. Or will it? Okay, a bit of a plot hole there. Because there was already a guy in there, wasn't there? Well, we might as well save this then. Oh, God, what a darn fool. Got trapped twice. He didn't learn his lesson the first time. What a dweeb. Here they stay. Oh, we could go outside. Oh. Like his private quarters, maybe. Tugan. Oh, I can't even read that. I dedicate myself to the love that something me, Tugan, my beloved. Oh my god, more reading. Okay, so we actually know how to decode these now. So 3, this one is 11, 311, so 311, 9, 1, 4. I start this latest journal with astounding news. Catherine has returned to the 5th age. And though it sets my teeth on edge to say it, she has also vanished as quickly as she appeared. Stolen from me by the rebels. As my guard tells it, she linked into the Fisher Plateau cage, just as I surmised, when suddenly he was set upon by a band of rebels, who darted him and spirited her away. I suspect the truth of the matter was that he was so dumbfounded at actually witnessing someone link in after all this time that he presented an easy target for whichever rebel happened to be nearby. The damnable luck of it. He didn't get a good enough look at her, though, to verify that it was indeed Catherine. He also claims that he inspected all of her belongings and found no linking book on her person, a fact that I find hard to believe, but if true, makes the question of why she's returned here all the more puzzling. While I am sick with frustration, having lost the only quarry that cage has ever caught, I am also filled with hope. I don't know what these words are. As she may yet provide me with a way back to Dini. It is true that I have managed, despite overwhelming odds, to break free of the confines of the 5th age and resume my mission to save the culture from extinction. But I fear that unless I am able to regain access to the vast resources that lie in the city's ruins, the task of resurrecting that great civilization will be impossible. If Catherine did bring a linking book with her, then I am halfway there. If not, then she is trapped in the 5th age, and I can only assume that my emotionally crippled son will soon be along to rescue her. Either way, it is crucial to my plans that I find her soon. Her presence here now forces me to take the rebels more seriously. I should never have permitted them to survive this long. So 3, the second box is 11, 311, 10, 5. Once again, the Great Walk has demonstrated its usefulness to me. The villagers have been difficult to manage in the wake of Catherine's arrival, and their fear of this mythic beast has been all that has kept them in line. Had I known how truly useful these prodigious creatures would prove to be, I would have captured more of them while the local population was still plentiful. Although, to be sure, if these disturbances continue, my current pets will be in no damage of perishing for lack of nourishment. Okay, 311, 10, 3, is that 30? 3 and 10? Or 13? The search for Catherine continues. I deeply regret my mistake of having even taught these primitive people anything at all about the books. It seems that with each passing day, I more sorely realize the extent to which they were not ready for that knowledge. Not even in the simplified manner which I presented it to them. Their minds, adapted only to the exceptionally menial tasks of village life, were incapable of comprehending the act in all its complexity, and were thus unable to glean any of the underlying principles that are, ironically, so elegantly simple. It is obvious that so much of the discord that exists between us stems from their failure to grasp the meaning of the information I gave them. If they'd been able to gain even the smallest glimpse of the glorious future I had planned for them, this conflict would not exist. The minds of the children, however, are much more malleable. With the proper tutelage, they have developed a more appropriate posture towards the culture that has given them their lives. So that's why he set up the schoolhouse, to try and capture the kids, to try and propagandize the kids. At times they take to it almost as if they had a bit of Dini blood in them. Given the natives' inborn limitations, however, I am quite careful that more gain a level of understanding. that would permit them to sin against their future the way that Catherine did. How foolish I was to think that she could wield such knowledge responsibly, when it was quite clear that my own son could not. Atris, still he remains one of the greatest disappointments of my life. I should never have left him with my mother. By the time I'd returned for him, he had already been poisoned as to all the thoughts of aiding me in my noble mission. Perhaps that was the only way she could soften the fact that she had been responsible for the collapse of the entire civilization. So much destruction, so many great lives lost, the guilt must have been unbearable. She did seem to love my father and our world, but ultimately, she was an outsider whose ignorance of the Dini became the catalyst for their demise. If I am able to rebuild our culture, and in the process correct such weaknesses, then perhaps what she did was ultimately necessary in order that a new and stronger era of prosperity might someday come to pass. So it's 3, and then that's 12, 1, and 4. I don't know what these numbers are. They don't look like dates, right? So are they supposed to be added up still? So that's 15 would be the first one. 15, 1, 4. You'd expect the first set of boxes to be years, right? And then days and months, or months and days, depending on where you are in the world. But it doesn't seem to be like that, because you know. Anyway. I have been increasingly beset by images from the past these last few weeks. As I stood in the schoolroom today, I was reminded of my own childhood. The years I spent in the book Maker's Guild. Father's immense pride at each of my small accomplishments there. He was an important man in the Dini world, but I cannot bear to think of him for long. It is too much. I was too young to see such things. 3, 12, 2, 3, and 5, so 8. I have her. Late last night, I received word that Catherine had been apprehended. While while attempting to persuade some of the villagers to join her. I lost a few men in the process, but I would have gladly paid 100 times that number for such a prize. She's been imprisoned in my old office, where I've been attempting to gain some insight as to the reason for her return. I've had to fight the all but constant impulse to put her on the gallows, as she has adopted the most infuriating stance of only answering my questions when she answers them at all in her native tongue. Even so, she is a poor liar. I am now certain that her return to Riven was unintentional, and that she brought no linking book with her. As far as her willingness to share with me the location of the moiety, we shall see. Without their leader, however, they are once again powerless against me. If Catherine's coming here was indeed an accident, then Atris is bound to come for her. That is a given. The question I must now consider is, how will he attempt it? It is likely that his hesitation is due, at least in part, to this dilemma. One way or another, though, he'll have to bring a linking book to get back. There is no other way. 3, 12, 6. We've never seen that symbol before, the box in the top corner. It's late, and I cannot sleep. I've lost so much in my life. My people, my father, my son, and you, my wife. Keta, you were the only true kindness I have ever known. Watching you flicker there in the imager, I sometimes wonder if you were real. If I could restore your life with my pen, I would do so in an instant, and leave the rest of the world to their own wretched fate. 3, 12, 8, 1. Damn these savages. I would be well advised to leave them all in the 5th age and begin again with a clean sheet of paper. Stranger has arrived on Riven with a linking book to Dini, and once again my useless minion was overtaken by the rebels. From what little I could decipher of his muddled explanation, oh, maybe he didn't actually go in the book. He was killed by the he was killed by the moiety. So there was no one in the book. So okay, that changes things. Anyway, from what little I could decipher of his muddled explanation, it apparently occurred sometime this morning. The cage mechanism has been damaged, but that is no matter. Everything I need is here now. Atris is certainly behind this. But why would he send someone else in his stead? And with a linking book, no less. Surely he would have guessed that I would be waiting for him. Such recklessness is unlike him. Could it be that he's had a change of heart toward me? That after all these years, he has finally decided to let his poor father go? Ha! I know all too well where his loyalties lie. He is only after one thing. Perhaps this stranger should find her. For now, I need only wait and observe. I'm beginning to think it was a mistake to allow the stranger to roam freely about the islands. In their ignorant poking, they attempted to power the damaged drawbridge from the Temple Island, and the entire bridge collapsed. A trivial loss at this point, but it irks me all the same. Had I not yet managed to free myself from that crumbling age, it would have hampered my progress severely. But again, it is no matter now. The day will soon come when I will be done with Riven forever. 3-12-8-2. 3-12-8-2. Disconcerting news. Last night, a group of mountaineers happened upon a lone rebel scout, and were able to engage him long enough to learn of a most implausible device. A crystal window, supposedly capable of amending my linking books, much the way that my own remarkable system does, but with one slight advantage. It is small and weighs only a few pounds, making it entirely portable. If this outlandish claim is true, then the artifact in question must be something that Catherine fabricated prior to her capture, no doubt from an explicit Dini schematic she brought with her. If only I had had access to such a document all these years. The portent of this revelation is deeply troubling. Some years ago, the rebels managed to abscond with a dysfunctional linking book I'd intended to destroy. The book was never recovered, but once they had sufficiently atoned for this sacrilege, I graciously decided to let the matter slide, thinking that in their inept hands it could do no more harm. But if Catherine has indeed empowered them with such a device, the rebels may well have linked to another age. It also means that 98. It also means that 98 is no longer safe. This cannot stand. The stranger is the key to all of this. Tracking their movements has given me a good idea of where this rebel linking book and the crystal may be hidden. But before I can deal with that, I must secure the linking book back to Dini. Everything hinges upon that. If I can regain access to my arsenal of resources there, I will happily leave the whole of Riven to its own dismal future. Imager codes. Keta, Father, Anna. Thank God that's over again. No more books, please. Bring something. Okay. I wrote ding ding other snare. Well, there's the password. The free Catherine.
Natsu? Shima? Shorate. Mataneta. Tagamem. San Botegan Shem. Fasi.
Is that his wife? He must have died young. Let's go have a look outside, eh? Mighty idols. Some food cooking. A broken book. What a view, hey? I think this one's like a skybox. Can this open? No. Oh, there we go. Beautiful. Alright, we're back, but probably not because this will be mid-episode. What a beautiful place. Now in my notes I've got, it has been a while because I was a bit ahead with the recording. I've got ding ding other snare. Ooh. So windy here. Oh, they're mountains, not trees. Oh, wow. Fascinating. Okay, let's go rescue Catherine. Can we go back? Oh, I might have just turned the ability to go back off. So does that mean books need to be lit up in that way in order to be traversable? Because I don't remember that from Myst. Or maybe it was like built into the contraptions and I just didn't notice. Alright. Catherine, let's go save you. So I think we've wrapped up almost everything, haven't we? This is the, you know, we've pre-Catherine, chill, signal Atris. And that's the end, right? Or will there be a secret age like there was in Myst? Alright, so I've phonetically written this down. Ding ding, other snare. That's a snare. That's other. Okay. Ding ding. Catherine, your hero is here, your savior.
We have to move quickly. Gen's people may already know what's happening. Once we're back with the moiety, we'll have time to regroup. Can I see the book? You did it. You captured Gen. We're all free. But there's still his followers. I'm not sure what they'll do once they realize he's gone.
So you gonna eat this?
I have to get the villagers to safety as soon as possible. And you go back to where you first arrived and reopen the fissure. I know it's risky, but it's the only way to signal Atris. I'll try to make it back there as soon as possible, but don't wait for me. Oh, and don't forget the combination in my journal. You'll need it.
Another journal, you say? Is the journal here? Did I take a... Okay, so that's... Is this what we're talking about? I do... It has been a while since the last part of this episode, so I did think that I read Gan's journal, not her journal. But anyway... I can't see a journal here. I'm a vampire. Okay. I have a feeling that we've missed her diary somehow, in which case we'll probably just have to go back to Gan's age to have a look for it. It's probably over there. This must be Gan's, because who's Anna and who's Keta? Yeah, I reckon this is the Imager. So I've got to go and, yeah, I've got to go and look for the code again. We did have a good look in the cell and I couldn't see a journal there. So it must be in Gan's world somewhere. Unless I'm just blind and we missed it in the cell, which is very likely with this game. Yeah, this is clearly Gan's journal, right? Clearly. Okay, but where is Catherine's journal? Oh. I forgot all about this because we just haven't used it. Yeah, that's Atris's book. Okay. It's a good thing I accidentally pressed tab, isn't it? Okay, let's see if we can load, because... Okay, we can't. We have to go all the way back. Yeah, let's read this, by the way. Oh my god. I write quickly from my prison. Along with this journal, I've instructed Naylor to return the book that the moiety intercepted upon your arrival. Oh. After questioning her, I've concluded that it was written by Atris for a very specific purpose. Gan will wish to use it, though he will undoubtedly be suspicious. Once he is out of the way, you'll still need the combination to release me. I'm told he keeps it somewhere in his outpost on 233. Then I assume we're to signal Atris. I think I know how it might be done, but don't attempt it before I'm released, Catherine. It's been 1 week since I linked to Riven, and I'm still reeling from the changes I've witnessed. Even before my eyes could adjust, the smell of my homeland embraced me. The sweet salt air was... I hate cursive writing. I hate this so much. The sweet salt air was instantly familiar. But the scene that soon resolved was not. As I stood there, Struggling to make sense of what I was seeing, a violent clang sounded and... A violent clang sounded... Is that Garn? A violent clang sounded and Garn appeared before me. It was then that I must have been darted. It's not, it wouldn't be Garn. It was then that I must have been darted, for my memory after is cloudy. A Rivenese man, shabbily dressed in militaristic attire, was shouting something at me. He seemed to be attempting to speak Dini, but his grasp of the language was so poor that I could not make out his words. And then the world went dark. Many voices passed, until at last I awoke to a familiar... Many voices passed, until at last I awoke to a familiar face. E.T. After all this time, she's still as warm and kind as ever, and yet the years have clearly wounded her, as they've wounded everyone whose world became a prison when Garn was triggered here. When Garn was trapped here. As they've wounded everyone whose world became a prison when Garn was trapped here. Everything is tinged with pain and loss. Even E.T.'s bright smile, though she does her best to hide it. A desperate urgency, squelched by unattended fears, seethes beneath her cordial veneer. When Atris and I left Garn here all those years ago, I was haunted by visions of what became of my people, and how they might have come to suffer under his rule. But the injustices I imagined were nothing compared to the atrocities that have actually come to pass. The following is a chronicle of what I have learned, a record of all that has happened, should I no longer be here to tell it. We have some symbols, the moiety. It seems the confrontation that led to Garn's entrapment on Riven was witnessed by some of the Rivenese. But their interpretation of the event was skewed, no doubt due to Garn's overinflated view of himself. Atris and I had hoped that stripping him of the ability to think of the other worlds might have, due to the ability... You know, I'm not reading this. This is bullshit. Just give me proper English, don't give me cursive. Bolu must be lit. Secret passage to the rebel linking room. Okay, so here's the code, but it's in moiety, so I'm going to have to translate to Gan's numbers, DD numbers. Dear Lord. Finish reading every journal, yeah. Sure, it was a tense emotional struggle, Catherine, but maybe write in clear printed language. And actually I might just put a screenshot of this right next to me so I don't have to keep going into the notebook. Okay, so we know that 2, 3, 4, 5 okay, so yeah, let's just do this. Number 2 is 5. Three, 4, 5. This is 5 also. This is 4. We have 5 again. We have 2. We have 3, 3, 1. Cool. Now these ones. That leaves 2, which are 2 triangles upright. And I know this is wrong because there's a rotation going on, but I would assume that they would be eight. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One. Okay. I'm pretty sure the rest are all correct, so first we have 5, 5, blank, 4, 5. Hold on. Okay, blank, 5, 5, blank, 4, 5. Oh, that's not 4. Four, 5, 2. Two. 3, 3, yep, and 1. Okay, now these ones, I was pretty sure that there were 8. It won't be 6, so there must be 9. Well, they're not 10. Okay, what's happening here? Now, am I going to have to read this goddamn journal? Okay, so we got blank. We have 5, 5. Blank. I mean, it could be as low as, I guess, 7. Wouldn't be 6, because 6 is covered by the top 2. Yeah, let's have another look. Okay, what does this mean? Alright, let's just double check all this because I'm pretty sure we, I'm wondering if I wrote these notes about the numbers before I knew what I was talking about. So it's not 6, right? This is 1, 2, this is 3, 3, 3, this is 2, this one is 5, this one is 4, this is blank. This is 5, this is 5. Okay, does it have to be in the center maybe? I would expect this to be... Okay, so 8, yeah. Which we tried. This one's 8. Okay. What's this in the middle, hey? Why was something in the middle circle? Oopsie. Okay. So maybe that's saying it has to be in the above, in the upwards position. Is that saying that the gas needs to be cut off? So that's in the middle now. I suppose it doesn't do anything until we... Alright, that's upwards. So that's what that's saying, I'm pretty sure. So this is saying that the gas has to be going this way, right? Well, that line might mean cut off. But Catherine said just to put the code in, right? That's all she said, so there's probably not much more to it than that, and I've just got the code wrong somehow. You piece of... Oh, what if it wraps around? That's just a kind of dastardly trick they'd play, isn't it? Wait a second. I've got my 1s and 5s backwards. That's what's happened. That's what's happened. Oopsie. Two, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 3, 2, 1. One, 3, 3, 2. 5. There we go. I was right all along, but I had the 1s and 5s backwards. Am I destroying this? Let's do it. Hey, Tris.
There isn't much time. Where's Catherine? Where's the book? I don't understand.
Atris!
Ah, they're back together.
The villagers are safely in the Rebel Age. I thank you.
As do I. You've accomplished more than I could have hoped for. You've given me back my life. The path home is now Perhaps we'll meet again someday.
Maybe we will, Atris. Maybe we will.
You know where to find me. Goodbye, my friend. Now I understand. Endings and beginnings are within the fissure. That riven cleft of stars that acts as both a wall and a bridge. And though I'm unable to understand how, the very flow of stars that brought my mist book into worthy hands, I am sure served as a safe passage home for my friend. The age of Riven has come to a close, but the people of Riven are free. And now I am at rest, understanding that in books and ages and life, the ending can never truly be written.
Alright, so here are my thoughts on Riven, and I'm planning to cut this up and make this into a short, so some of the stuff that I say might be a little weird and obvious for someone who's watched this whole series, but nevertheless. So the general sentiment, I really like this game. I think this is a better version of Myst. It's more cohesive, it's larger, there are more characters, better puzzles. The world feels realer than it did in Myst. It feels like the puzzles are more suitable to the environments. Unfortunately, this has the same main weakness as Myst, and I can sum that up as poor quality of life for the player. So an example from the latest episode. There's pages of dense cursive text that's hard to pass. Resident Evil games were giving you a readable version of notes in 94 or something like that. There's this knapsack mechanic that comes in for 2 minutes at the start of the game and then appears right at the end of the game that you're supposed to remember. Little things like that. There's little quality control things that this game has that might be understandable in a 90s game, but in the remake should really be improved upon. In general, I feel like, as with Myst, this is a game where you're more likely to be missing the button that you need to press than you are to be missing the solution to a puzzle. I did struggle with a couple of the puzzles just because I got the details wrong in my head, got a little bit muddled up. But in general, I felt the same as I did in Myst, which was I'm more likely to be missing some button or something, thinking about the gate from the first episode, and that's more likely to be a blocker than not understanding a puzzle. And by the same token, for this quality of life thread, there are things which are not puzzles which could be puzzles. So Gan's history in the first episode is an example. I felt pretty silly for thinking that was a puzzle for the whole episode, but looking back, the real thing that I'd missed was the gate at the bottom. So it's like if that did not present itself as a puzzle, I don't blame myself for falling into that trap, let's say. But in general, Riven is still amazing. This is my preferred type of puzzle game. It's not like the Talos Principle or The Witness or something like that, where you've got a finite set of mechanics that are put together and the consequences of the mechanics, come out, and that's the puzzle game. This is a puzzle game where you're presented with an alien world. You need to understand it. You need to really make sure that the information that you're getting is synthesized and put together, and you figure out what the various Rube Goldberg machines are doing in the game. And playing this now, I really understand why Blueprints is what it is. This game really paved the way for Blueprints. And I see Blueprints as perfecting this game's formula, improving the mysteries, improving the quality of life issues that I had with Riven and also Myst. But in general, I love this game. Amazing presentation, inventive storytelling. The environments were amazing, you know, from the jungle island to the survey island. Nice little bits of fantasy type geometry. In general, the fact that this is a remake of a 90s game is astounding to me. The original game is seminal. It's so ambitious for its time period. Yeah, so these are my thoughts. You can tell I really liked it. You can tell I had those little issues, those little gripes. But yeah, really good game. And when Cyan get around to making the next in the Myst series, if they do, I look forward to playing that too. Probably on this channel. There we have it. Thanks for watching.